IVM.
Let's get to the part where the film addresses desire, which is Michelle is part of. Is it her sister's marriage?
Sister's marriage, yeah.
And that's where she realizes that, like probably for the first time, so closely, that there is someone who is gonna get married, and there is this whole sense of desire, and they're gonna. At the wedding, the priest says, "You may now kiss the bride," and she says, "Oh, kissing her on the cheek," and Devraj says, "No, on the mouth." And that's when she realizes, "Oh, that ye bhi ho sakta hai," you know? And then she wants someone to kiss her because she realizes that may never happen with her. And then Devraj himself sort of certifies that, saying, "Yeah, that may never happen with her." And she says, "Kid, why don't you kiss me?" And then that happens, and then after that, Devraj leaves from the. I mean, talking about male characters leaving. But I like that. Hey, you brought it up, okay? I'm just.
Talking about father figures leaving. मैं ऐसा बोल रही, मेरे डैड अच्छे, ठीक है. हम फैमिली मैन में ऐसे नहीं है.
But I like that the film addresses desire.
It.
And that is such a beautiful point, because this is something that a common friend of ours had told me, Ayushi Jagad, who was also there on the show.
Yes.
That very simple point. I know this might sound a bit weird, but then she said that while having sex or any sort of physical contact, people switch off the lights. And मैंने पूछा था, why is that? She's like, because sex is something you feel, no? Like physical pleasure is something you feel. You don't want to it is something that is to be felt. It is not to be seen or heard.
Right.
So and
I think people are conscious
I
about
was gonna
their
say
bodies
that.
and someone else's body also, because we.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, that too.
I have
yeah.
my own body image issues. So.
Yeah, that too. But like also like so when I saw that scene, I realized ki, oh yeah, like I don't know if you guys remember the first time you felt something, but like this was when I was a teenager, and I remembered like some guy that I had a
it
mild
was that
crush on.
item song from Ghatak that Mamta Kulkarni does. Koi jaye to le aaye. I felt dil. Yeah, I felt something happening.
You don't know
there.
that. You
And
would
I was
know
like,
that.
yeah,
I thought,
please,
I
please
know
put the lights off. I just
thought
want to
you
be.
know all
Look
the
at all
songs.
the cameras and just say, what the fuck?
You asked. You remember the
Are
first
you-
time you felt something, and I'm telling you.
Oh God, no! I meant like a person's touch, like how you
Oh,
felt
that way.
differently. So like
Oh.
I had a crush in my college, and this was the first time I had a crush on someone. तो
कॉलेज तक तेरे को किसी पे क्रश नहीं हुआ?
स्कूल का क्रश इज लाइक मुझे
Okay.
लगता था कि मुझे कोई लड़के पसंद ही नहीं है, बट तो कॉलेज तो दिस सो आई रिमेम्बर ही वाज लाइक डायरेक्टिंग और समथिंग, एंड देन ही जस्ट लाइक पुट अ हैंड ऑन my shoulder, and he like did yeah, and then and I kid you not, my body just started shivering, and then like so when I saw that happening in black, I was like, okay, I was immediately transported to that
Right.
memory.
But I would first want to know your response to her asking her teacher to give her that experience.
थोड़ा weird, but also at the same time he's her confidant.
Yeah.
So and like he's her only friend, so and I think she just wanted to feel that.
I went through an entire range. Go ahead.
So she, the thing is, उसका अभी हम कैसे एक्सप्रेस करते हैं, हम एक तो बातों से एक्सप्रेस करते हैं, हम आंखों से देखते हैं, कानों से सुनते हैं, बट उसका पूरा फीलिंग, पूरा उसका साउंड, मूड, बॉडी, उसका फीलिंग ही है. सो शी इज लाइक कि वाटर अगर बोला तो वाटर देखता है, अगर किसिंग बोला तो किसिंग भी तो देखना है ना. सो आई थिंक फॉर हर इट वर्क्स दैट वे. सो आई डिडंट फील लाइक.
But I just at this point I remembered way before this kissing scene is introduced. There's a scene where there's a monologue, and she mentions कि हमारा रिश्ता बदल रहा था, you know. So I am not sure if that's what it's indicative of.
Why are you getting uncomfortable? It's okay, man.
I mean, we saw that, but anyways, yeah.
Okay.
It's okay.
It's fine.
Oedipal का male version क्या होता है? I don't know. So I went through an entire range where first when she says के will you kiss me? I thought, hey, क्या बोल रही है? ऐसा teacher है तेरा, you know. But then instantly that point came to me.
Yeah.
He's the only person who's she's been the most intimate with, not in the physical sense, but throughout most of her life, where she's shared every emotion with him, because he's the quote voice that she has. So of course, if she wants to feel desire, he's the one she will. And also I think is we are feeling that because probably we are seeing him, the age difference. As someone who can't see, maybe she doesn't sense
doesn't
what
sense it.
old
Yes,
and
yes,
young
yes.
is to that
Yeah.
extent. So that's why she's like,
Even like being a disabled person, even knowing that feeling of. So first of all, not back then, but now when I rewatch the movie, what came to my mind is why won't she experience this with someone?
Okay.
Because I mean, of course, even today, it's considered as, oh my god, pap.
Right.
If a disabled person thinks of dating a non-disabled person.
अच्छा, I thought he meant sex. I was like, yeah.
अरे हम वहाँ तक गए नहीं है बहन.
उचिता like,
Dating
हाँ,
तो कर
है
ले.
तो.
पहले कॉफी पी लूँ उसके साथ में. ठीक है.
I was like, sex is considered pap, yeah. Like, you're disabled. Okay, yeah.
So it's like पहले कॉफी तो पी.
मैं भाग जाता हूँ उसके पहले. ठीक है.
You're lying, okay? I've heard stories from you.
Whoa.
Okay, Shweta ने stories बताए अपने, so I know you're lying, but okay, fine, go ahead.
देखो,
That
ये
will
वो
be
चीज़ होती है.
that version of the podcast will be behind our paywall.
हाँ.
But yeah, so it's considered still very.
It's still considered taboo, like especially in the arranged marriage market. Like I thought कि ठीक है, मतलब like when I was in my 20s and when that arranged marriage thing was happening, I thought कि ठीक है, होता होगा. Not all non-disabled men, but some will be okay. It's a taboo apparently. So now
So
when
for
I watch,
even-
Arranged marriage market में about 25 women is also taboo. I'm reaching that. अगले साल 2024 taboo.
you don't get to talk about when there are 230 plus people right in front of
Yeah.
you. Exactly.
Kids, go sit with my
Yes,
tree.
exactly.
No, but
No,
so even after you already cut down your expectations, saying that obviously not every able-bodied
what I was
man will
coming
be
to
okay.
is that as a
and
watcher,
in your experience, even lesser number of men were okay with it.
but what I'm coming to that right now, as a watcher, I'm like, why couldn't they or why? I don't know. Like obviously this part is not. Now, first of all, very interestingly, how this entire marriage part or this companionship part is not addressed only in the movie, which I find problematic not only over here, like generally in the discourse of disability. It's not addressed because like so first of all it's considered that, oh my god, disabled है तो single ही रहेगा number one. Number two, I don't know if the parents would have thought for her in that movie, but I'm sure they could have found someone who is as disabled as her.
Yeah.
So this thing of, and what I'm feeling
why I find
weird about and bad about is that why wasn't she communicated that she can also
Right.
experience it.
Right.
Like how every non-disabled person has a milestone.
Correct.
Of course, there is no such milestone for us, which is like whatever bullshit. But it's just sad that this wasn't a part of her. I mean, of course, there were other challenges. Like वो बोलते हैं कि तुम्हारी life में इतने challenges are already. So why would you think about that? Like, I'm like, why not? I want more support in life. But yeah, so this question crossed my mind that why weren't they looking for a disabled alliance for her, number one. And
But why only disabled alliance? Can be
because see, she's talking in the context of desirability being taboo. Okay, so obviously there is this established thought process that my life is challenging, or there are this XYZ difficulties and all of that, and I am perceived in a particular manner, and I don't fit. I don't conform to the norms of
Right. Traditional
woman or like a desirable woman. So then non-disabled boys is out of question only.
Okay,
I think
got
that's a very internalized
Right.
thing.
Yeah. No,
Right.
of course,
yeah.
of course.
Yeah. So that was my first thought.
Okay.
And then about the kissing scene, I am still not convinced.
Okay.
No, even though I have been.
But the
On this
idea you're
part-
convinced with that she wanted
Of course,
to
I
be
know
felt
where she's
and-
coming
yeah.
from. Pakka.
Your issue is with Debraj being the first person. that
Debraj
she's-
being the first person,
that
and
she's
but then I do
confiding in.
understand that, like he was the only point of contact with the outside
Right.
world.
Yeah.
Maybe
So,
it's a film thing because they never show us her teenage years, right? She's the kid and then
They
suddenly
never
she's an
show
adult.
this.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then my problem with movies and portrayal about these subjects is like it's just not spoken about. Like these things are not spoken about, and then it's again portrayed in a very stereotypical way कि अरे बेचारी इसको तो कभी experience मिलेगा ही नहीं.
IVM